This is the newest open metro project in North America, the Montreal REM, and I am on board right now. Alright, this is different than my usual test. Let's see if the payphones at Gare Centrale work. They work!
Welcome to Montreal, foggy island of French Canada. See their beautiful native flowers, drink their edible cocktails, try to speak in a dialect of French that the French even find a bit weird. And as of last week at the making of this video, ride the Deux-Montagnes extension of the REM, their take on an S-Bahn, kind of, sort of.
Hello everyone and welcome to Montreal with my dad.
Yeah.
I brought my dad with me. So basically we've been staying here and we're currently at, the McGill College entrance, from the Eaton Centre? And
Post Canada.
for the Canadian Post behind us. And I guess we're gonna ride the REM, right?
I guess so.
This, it's like a big complex. Montreal has the underground city, so we're just trying to navigate it. But I think it's the level just above the tunnel. That's the metro and REM. It's interchange here.
You know, my travels to Canada were made possible in part by Ubigi, a fantastic eSIM provider who will help you stay connected no matter where you are in the world. Setting up your eSIM is as simple as downloading their app, selecting your plan, and automatically connecting once you reach your destination country. It really is that easy, and I can vouch for this because despite having a German phone, I was able to have reliable cellular data from the moment my plane touched down in Canada. Get a discount by using the code TFTSB at checkout, and definitely check out Ubigi in the description below. And now with that, let's explain why the REM exists through the power of a heritage minute. In the year 1918, the hard workers of the Canadian Northern Railway completed the Montreal Tunnel under central Montreal. A somewhat tight tunnel of gorgeous exposed rock, this tunnel lacked ventilation for steam engines, and thus became dedicated electrified rail trackage. Later in the 1960s, Line 3 of the Montreal Metro was planning to take over this trackage as part of its route. However, Line 3 never happened. Seriously, what the fuck? What do you mean there's lines 1, 2, 4, and 5? Around the turn of the millennium, regional operator AMT took over rail service through the tunnel, running commuter trains through the tunnel en route now under the EXO commuter rail brand. Unlike the other routes, which often used bi-level rolling stock, including degenerate garbage like gallery cars, fight me.
Hey foamers, especially those of you from Chicago. This here in Montreal is a gallery car, a very famous or infamous type of passenger car where there's proper rows of seats on the bottom, but then there's just individual singular rows up top with a hole in the middle so that they could just have one conductor check both levels of seats at once. And as most gallery cars should be, this one in Montreal is in a museum.
These mostly use single-decker cars because, well, it's an old kind of narrow tunnel. Notable here as well is that Montreal Airport has no proper rail connection. If you want to go downtown, you can either take the 747 bus, and you will like it, or you can take another shuttle bus to the nearest commuter rail station. Thanks, Via Rail, but that's going to change soon. Originally, the plan was for the AMT to upgrade the Deux-Montagnes line for capacity and frequency, for it to have a connection to the airport via an automated light metro system, kind of like the Vancouver SkyTrain. But what we eventually got in 2023 was a mix of both. High-capacity metro in operation with 10-minute branch frequencies and a planned connection to the airport. The 2023 opening was just the southern bit of the line, south from Gare Centrale though. The 3 northern branches still in the works, including the one to the airport. But as of last week, here in November 2025, we have the longest full branch of the REM now open, the Deux-Montagnes branch. And yes, REM, as in that's the name of the line. Apparently I looked really tired in this picture. I guess I need some REM of my own, am I right? And now, while I had a chance to potentially ride this at Open, I delayed a few days so I could partake in my most requested collaboration yet.
Foaming?
Riding a new metro line end-to-end with the king of foamers himself, my dad.
As we go down to the metro, Dad, would you like to join us for one of my channel's most infamous acts?
Like getting on the metro?
Huh?
Getting on the metro?
Well, that, but also, how does the elevator smell like piss? What? I could say piss.
We're going down, right?
Yeah, we should be going down. I don't know what's happened with it. Okay, it went all the way down and now it's coming back up. Okay, that's something I've never had happen in an elevator before. It smells like peppermint.
I think I had a mouthful of it.
Yeah, you think so?
No, I could see him.
But before we get started, here's a word from a man in a Spider-Man costume I hired on Fiverr.
Oh, subscribe to the Tales from the S-Bahn. Yeah. It is the only way to the car lobby.
Welcome to the Eaton Centre in the Montreal City Centre. I've had the luxury staying in old Montreal, and as someone who's been visiting here for years now, can I just be clear on how much I love this city? Yes, I know it's in North America, and apparently nowhere here can do anything decent ever. Oh fuck, look at all the cars. Surely we'd never have that in Europe. But I honestly never feel the need to drive here. I feel like Montreal is not only a very walkable city, but it honestly has one of Canada's best transit systems. Vancouver, cry your heart out. Montreal has some great transit. The REM is this really neat Metro S-Bahn thing that I'm really happy to take on a ride on. Complementing it is the Paris-influenced Montreal Metro, which along with using rubber-tired metro trains, doesn't pop above ground at all. Not a single time. But I think now canceled line 3 was supposed to at some point. Oh, and as for the EXO commuter rail network, you see we have a whole one line to cover. I know, ooh. First, we're going to get on a train from the Eaton Centre to head south to Brossard. Then we're going to Augward the station and make snide comments at the sheer amount of parking at some of the stations. And then we're going to turn around and head all the way up to Deux-Montagnes. But before we ride trains, can I just give a quick nod to the customer service on pretty much all of Montreal's transit? I noticed a stand at the airport labeled for the 747 bus when I came in, and our REM staff at Deux-Montagnes stationed there just to answer questions about the network. To the person who recognized me from YouTube, by the way, who was a ticket inspector, hello. My dad had never ridden on the system before, so when we went to buy a ticket at McGill Station, right underneath the Eaton Centre, a really nice station staff member came by and helped us up with day passes.
Thank you so much.
Look, I love Germany and our barrier-free system, but this was nice, and now that I think about it, I've never seen a single station staff member at any U-Bahn station I've been to. This Montreal was really nice. Props to you. Montreal actually takes a step further by having the underground city, basically a big bunch of connecting tunnels with shops and other such things, connecting major areas of the city's core together. Makes some metro connections a bit windy, but also really mind-blowing. The metro station of Bonaventure, right next to Gare Centrale, the central station, is kind of breathtaking and is really enabled by its connections to the city center. And speaking of the Eaton Centre, yeah, you can connect to the Eaton Centre's metro station or the McGill REM station, or even just McGill and University itself. But that's on the level above the main tunnel, which just really shows how deep and incredible the underground city can be.
You know this? Do you remember when we were in Singapore and they had the platform screen doors?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they do the same thing with it here.
Back to the REM.
It has new train smell to it, and to be fair, after making this, I think this... it's Tuesday, and this opened, I think, last weekend.
Heading on to the original 2023 route, we head through Gare Centrale and onto the route towards Brossard. Brossard. Can I get a boisson in the chat?
Burger.
These short automated trains are made by Alstom. I know, big French fuckery.
Most of Milan take
Now you know who Alstom bought that used to be based here, right?
Who?
Bombardier.
Bombardier.
Technically, they bought the train division anyways.
Can we get off here?
We can just go down and back up if you want. They're the A3 and A4, or sorry, A2 and A3 are under construction. I gotta say, I'm usually not big on parking rides, but because this is the end of the line, I think this actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But YUL?
YUL? Yeah, Trudeau Airport.
Yeah.
Named after Pierre, not Justin.
This way?
Yeah. Have you been following the thing with him where he's apparently with Katy Perry?
Yeah.
Not a fan.
You just think all the BS, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's all like, oh, this is what they do.
It's all just celebrity bullshit. Shall we go to the platform?
And usually operate in coupled sets of 2, bringing the total to 4 cars each. That said, sometimes they do run 2-car trains, so keep a look at these lights by the platform screen doors, which will tell you which ones are in use. Every single station has platform screen doors, and on urbanism's safety level, I'm all for them. It makes things just feel oh so good, and it really helps in Montreal too, where things get super cold. My god, these stations and the trains were so well heated. On a firmer level though, when it comes to platform screen doors, boo, bad, garbage. Let me get my train pictures.
Really, never been on a metro this clean. No. Again, new train smell even.
These trains are really spacious, and while I'm not the biggest on the hard plastic seats, the layout here makes sense, especially as the southern bit of the REM is really consistently back.
Just recorded myself making fun of the announcements and I didn't hit record. Prochaine station, Panama. The education system failed me. I don't remember much French from school.
The best part of being automated is being able to film out the front and back windows. A true perk, as I wasn't the only filmer on board. Speaking of which, I know I did the test of my gimbal when I rode Deutsche Bahn's new Talgos a few weeks back, and my gimbal fell over. This shot here was filmed by just placing my gimbal directly on the little lip on the window here. Super duper smooth. Speaking of foaming, leaving Gare Centrale, we actually get to go by yards for Canadian National, EXO, and VIA, Canada's intercity rail operator. VIA is such an odd operator to me. It's just wild to me to see American Bud cars and 90s British rolling stock operating together, not to mention their new trains from Siemens, which are like diesel versions of some of the stuff I see back home in Germany. Why not electrified? Because while the REM is cool and modern electrified, back in the day, Canada just straight up ripped up all of the railroad electrification. Bad Canada. Boo. Spray bottle. Hiss. The tracks all around here are just cool to look at as well, like a big bowl of metal spaghetti on the ground. I just adore it. What I love left so the bulk of the outside stations on the Brossard branch, labeled as the A1. For context, by the way, the one up to Deux-Montagnes is the A4. Basically, most of these Brossard branch stations are built in highway medians, which yes, keeps costs down, and due to the enclosed natures of the station, it's much more pleasant in a city like, say, Los Angeles. Oh, and seeing our train actively beat traffic in real time feels awesome, but it does feel a little bit hostile, especially most of these stations just seem to connect to, well, parking.
We're at Gare Centrale, which is the last stop on the old branch, Central Station. And everything from the Eaton Centre / McGill onwards is new trackage. It's mostly old rail lines, save for the tunnel, I believe. But this section between Gare Centrale and McGill, I think is like probably one of the shortest rides I've ever seen. I'm just going to keep talking. We're starting moving exactly at the 30-second mark here. Okay, we're going towards McGill. We're in the tunnel.
Direction A4. Deux-Montagnes.
I'm slowly slipping down, but that was okay.
Station McGill. Correspondance avec la ligne 1 verte.
I wish my French was better sometimes. Should have stuck with it after high school. Oh yeah. Practice. But hey, at least I speak German now. Oh. Etwa. And
Station McGill.
So, go French class.
huh?
French class.
No, yeah, but I want to get my German to a C1
Les
first.
portes s'ouvriront sur le côté droit.
Okay, so we are pulling in, and the trip from Gare Centrale to McGill is quite literally 70 seconds.
The REM itself and the station feel incredibly well French. You know, oui, hot dog du fromage and whatnot.
Oh god, did I tell you that they sell kolaches in Montreal?
Really?
But they label them as hot dog du fromage?
It's quiet, it's clean, it's actually pretty comfortable. The ride quality is super smooth, but the land use outside of the core of the city is actually pretty American. Which, granted, I mean, Montreal itself is a land of contradictions, for better or worse.
It still has the new train smell.
At least it doesn't have the old train smell.
And what would the whole train smell be? Piss?
I don't know, it depends where you are riding. Oh my god.
Oh, God.
I can forgive the amount of car parking at Brossard itself, though. Having a terminus station be somewhere you drive to makes a lot of sense to me, especially knowing how rural Quebec can be in places. Like, where the hell even is a Fiverrman? At least the food options are decent.
I ate here!
Heading back the other way, we begin the long trek all the way from Brossard to Deux-Montagnes. All the way in Montreal Zone C. A big deal, I promise. None of the metro lines even go outside of Zone B. Again, probably remnant of this partially being originally a commuter rail line.
Dad, I must say, sat there like that, you actually really embody the French look.
Deux-Montagnes.
Positive.
Prochaine station, Sunnybrook.
I know Grandma would have never let me hear it if I said you spoke French.
The REM does a lot of impressive stuff. Automated operation, fairly low costs for construction due to focusing mostly on upgrading existing rights of way, an eventual airport connection. That's seriously a big one, and I will constantly come back to it because it's cool. You'd think that with the entire glazing I'm rightfully giving it, and as so many others have, think Montreal to be planned not just to finish up the 2 further branches, but also to expand the network with further REM lines. And they were! This here is a plan for the REM de L'ost, a plan that would use these same types of trains to connect to the eastern municipalities in the island of Montreal. Love this stuff, and I'm so glad to see it all happening, especially since how municipal government in Montreal works. It also feels like a miracle when any big citywide project happens. And I cannot stress how cool the new REM extension is. It's fantastic. Some of these stations have amazing connectivity, and also pretty decent, density. Wow, I'm really impressed on this northern branch. And surely the REM de L'ost is going to continue this, right? Well, I was about to glaze this plan until I saw it was recent and said, oops, sorry. The NIMBYs think that the new heavy rail trains are stupid, expensive, and I don't know, fake and gay. The point is, REM de L'ost is no longer happening. Instead, it's just going to be a tram line. And on a greater level, yeah, Montreal used to have a historic classic tram network. I'd love to see it come back. You love taking inspiration from Paris, take that inspiration too. I think it'd be a great upgrade for some bus routes and a wonderful supplement to the metro and even the more walkable and bikeable parts of the city. The existing REM line, as I said, has great connections already to the metro and even EXO. Look at this bus loop at Deux-Montagnes. It even has some pretty decent bike parking. But my issue with the REM de L'ost plan compared to something like expanding streetcars in Toronto or bring back trams in Hamburg, Germany, is that this isn't a tram line being built to supplement existing transit modes. This is a planned automated heavy rail route as now being downgraded and demoted to a simple tram line. And one that apparently is going to have a lot of dedicated trackage, but you know how these things go. There's probably going to be a lot of mixed trackage as well. I love transit that gets stuck in traffic. Look, it's a downgrade. With no ground broken, let's hope it doesn't get further cut back or worse, downgraded further to a disappointing bus rapid transit system. Yeah, I said it. I actually hate BRT in 99% of cases where BRT is built. I think rail transit should have been sprung for instead. And even as much as I love trams, and I really do, I adore trams, damn it, upgrade the REM de L'ost back into an actual REM line. Speaking of the actual REM line that we do now have, my dad and I rode the whole thing, and it was great. Even with Silent Hill fog, we crossed rivers and over highways through forests and through varying degrees of rain and snow. And even saw where construction is happening on a brand new station in Montreal's EXO commuter rail system. But that's a video for a different time. It's a great system, and what we've currently built, I hope, inspires future projects not just in French Canada, but around North America, because the REM is really fantastic. It's not perfect. I will keep harping on the land use. But as an actual rider, I was really impressed, and clearly it's already having a major impact because especially on the southern section of the line, it was truly packed.
So we just rode the entirety of the REM as of 2025. Dad, what did you think?
It was excellent. It was spotlessly clean, efficient, and quiet.
Yes, and also, I feel like some of the stations have more parking than I'd like at one like Deux-Montagnes here, it makes sense because it's a terminus.
Yeah.
But the actual ride quality was amazing.
Well,
Like,
it's really amazing.
I'm like, even like in Germany, a lot of our trains are not this quiet.
Well, they will be one day.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see if Friedrichsmark gets his way
I
or not.
mean, this is just, this is quieter than riding in a car.
And also, like, the station is empty right now.
What?
What the hell?
I don't have a major way planned to end this video. Me riding the REM here made for a fun video to do, don't get me wrong, but making this video was just half of the reason I wrote it. The other half was just for an excuse to spend some time with my dad riding a cool train. I know I get lumped in with urbanist YouTube at times, and I'm happy about that, but at heart, I really am just a train girl with opinions. Afterwards, actually, my dad and I went to look at more trains in around Gare Centrale. It's been so long since I got to do North American train filming.
They do have a couple Amtrak services that go here, as you know.
Yeah.
But if I remember right, they're via cruise until the border, right?
Yeah.
This is so cool, actually. Even with the food, this is just, God, this is so cool. Also, look at that curve up there. Oh my God. We're just swinging around like. Dad, you spent some of your childhood in Chicago. You rode the gallery cars, right?
Yeah.
Were you ever big on them?
Here's me looking at the Santa train when it came through Montreal a few days back. Now, my dad isn't online, but he is the number one reason I do what I do. He has consistently been this channel's biggest supporter and fan, and he's constantly pushed me to make the best content I can possibly make. And yeah, I love the hell out of my dad. So instead of me answering a viewer question, let me end off by asking you all a question or a favor. In the comments here or any of my socials, can you just say hi, Jamie's dad? And then I can just show him the comments, spread the love. I think that would be cool as hell.